Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody joining us wherever you are in the world today. My name is Kiti Chaini Ubon. It is such a great pleasure for me to be the moderator of this special session this evening. And I'm really glad to see many of the familiar faces, new participants on Zoom as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our theme today is Reflection on AsiaTEFL webinar series. And the topic of the discussion is Connecting the ELT World Through Professional Development Initiatives, AsiaTEFL Proofnet, Leading the Pathway. Ladies and gentlemen, training and development seems to be the two most intervened terms in the field of teacher education. A number of scholars argued that professional development is a more relevant concept in teacher education than training for a number of reasons, but in part because training ends while professional development continues and is concerned with goals, learning, and the future. We have all seen teachers all over the world who passionately attend pre-service courses, but are left unsupported afterward. As the name of professional development suggests, it is a continuous practice that never ends. If it does, teachers end their own professional path by being demotivated, disappointed, or unwanted. To avoid this, continuous professional development is a must. This session, ladies and gentlemen, introduces a successful continuous professional development pathway in English language teaching, what we call AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021. Well, I think it's a great opportunity for us to share and talk about it in the form of panel discussion. It's a very honored that we have three distinguished speakers joining us from different countries, and they will be sharing their experiences, suggestions, or thoughts about the webinar series 2021. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you about the format of the session. Our session today will be the run-on session. Each panelist will have about 10 minutes to share their thoughts regarding today's theme. Once the three panelists have completed their talk, there will be a Q&A session afterward. Therefore, if you have any questions, please send us a question into the Zoom chat box. I will have to pick a few questions that most frequently asked to the participant to be answered by our speakers. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our first speaker, Professor Dr. Prakasit Sithitikun. Professor Dr. Prakasit Sithitikun is a full-time lecturer of the Language Institute, Thammasat University, Thailand. He earned a doctorate in language and literacy studies with a concentration in second language reading processes at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, USA. He is currently a vice president for conferences and professional network, AsiaTEFL. He is also an associate editor of the 3L journal, which is indexed in Scopus Quad Taiwan. He was the past president of Thailand TESOL organization. He has extensive experience in teacher training throughout Thailand. His area of interest include second language literacy, cognitive and social-cultural factors in second language learning, and intercultural issues in second language learning. Professor Dr. Prakasit will be speaking to us about the topic of the overall idea and the objective of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Prakasit Sithitikun.
Thank you very much, Kitichai, for the wonderful introduction. Sawasdee krap. Hello, everybody from different parts of the world. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to this presentation. We are going to share our experience as committee members about our reflections on the webinar series project run by the AsiaTEFL Professional Network Webinar Series Committee. I'm Prakasit Sithitikun from Thailand, acting as the Vice President for Conferences and Professional Networks. I'm responsible for this webinar series project. The presentation session today will highlight the success of the webinar series project, which was completed in October. we will reflect on many aspects of the project based on our direct experience, including the main objectives, interesting statistics and information of the webinar project, how the webinar series project was run collaboratively among committee members from different countries, success and challenges we experienced, and many more. First, let me inform you how this project began. At the beginning of this year, around March, I was kindly asked by the AsiaTEFL president to run the webinar series project, initiated by Professor Ghana, the late vice president of AsiaTEFL. I accepted the invitation with delight, with my best effort to ensure that this project would be a success. I formed a team consisting of 15 members from Thailand, Malaysia, and Korea. And we worked very hard and collaboratively under the guidance and consultation of the President Lee and President Gagesh and all the vice presidents of AsiaTEFL. Thank you so much. As for the objectives, this project serves three main purposes. The first purpose of this project is to provide AsiaTEFL members and English language education advocates and practitioners with an opportunity to engage in issues and developments in English language education in Asia and globally. Secondly, the series will be an avenue to share current and new developments in English language education with members and their regions in the interest of mutual development, shared growth, technology, and knowledge transfer, targeting common sustainable development goals. And finally, the purpose of the webinar series project is to support AsiaTEFL organization in expanding its brand exposure and to develop and promote non-AsiaTEFL annual conference related to academic and professional development initiatives that are ongoing through online and in-person activities. This includes seminars, workshops, forums, webinars, and special interest groups. This project started with the webinar launching show taking place in May with the purpose to introduce and publicize the project. After the launching show, the webinar was organized on the third Saturday of every month with different themes. The first webinar was conducted in June, and the last one was completed in October. Totally, a series of 5 webinars were conducted this year. I would like to say that I'm very happy that the AsiaTEFL webinar series capture a lot of attention from a wide range of audience all around the world. And in each webinar, there were around 400 to 700 participants, which is the large number. Because of the large number of the participants, we have tried our best to make it better every time in order to meet your needs and objectives in joining the webinar. This is some basic information of the webinar series project that I'd like to share for now. Other aspects of the project will be talked about by other speakers. Thank you. I have finished the first part of my talk.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Prakasit Sithitikun. You have provided us with the overall idea and objective of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021. And you also mentioned the importance of DELT professional network in our context. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to our second speaker, Ms. Chai Sun-Yu. Ms. Chai Sun-Yu is currently teaching and pursuing her PhD in the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. She holds the Bachelor in Education in TESOL from the University of Selangor and reads her MA TESOL in the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. She has taught in both national and international schools. She has presented in several international conferences. Her research interest includes learner and teacher beliefs about learning and teaching expectations, mentoring, and creative teaching and learning. Ms. Chai Sun-Yu will be sharing with you on our AsiaTEFL webinar series, Administration and Team Management. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. And thank you very much, Kitty Chai, and I am Shun Yu. From the administrative and team management perspective, I think one thing that is very fundamental is that we all have a very clear shared mission. Just like what Professor Prakasit has just shared with you, we aim to create an avenue for networking, for ELT advocates and practitioners to share knowledge, practice, and mutual development. But we also have another mission that is very meaningful and also very sentimental. We want to carry on with Professor Garner's legacy. I think all of you must have learned how impactful he is from the session earlier. So because of these shared missions, they really drive and really foster energy, commitment, and purpose among all of us in the team. And of course, we have a very strong team comprising different bureaus, including secretary, data management, publicity and promotion, technical, and also the financial teams. And we try tapping into each individual's strengths so that everyone is confident, efficient, and effective in whatever they are doing. And we believe that everyone is so important, everyone must be recognized and valued. So we always practice honesty and transparency, and as much as possible, we try to involve everyone in the decision-making process. We communicate deadlines, we communicate timelines to deliver tasks, we have monthly meetings to ensure targets are achieved, and we reflected on each webinar to ensure that the next one is always better than the previous ones. So, and another thing that I could share is the decision on our themes, because deciding on the themes of our webinar for each webinar and each every month is something that requires strategic planning. Organizing the webinar each month is actually really not easy because time really flies, right? So we always think about how to make sure that our webinars are always relevant to different participants who are school teachers, who are university lecturers, policymakers, future educators, and even researchers. And therefore, we curated our webinar themes based on the data that we collected from our participants every month. The data management team will analyze the data and they will update the data every 2 months just to make sure that our webinars always cater to the participants' needs. I think that's why we have always been able to sustain our participants. And I think being a family of AsiaTEFL, our strengths are always our diversity and our connectivity. So we have been able to capitalize these strengths and able to invite prominent speakers from Asia and from other parts of the world to share their insights and knowledge. And in this way, each webinar comprises different voices and different perspectives so that we can understand the current state of ELT education in a more holistic manner. So I think I have summarized the key areas that have been emphasized in the administration and team management in running the AsiaTEFL webinar series. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Chai Sun-Yu, for addressing a very clear success of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021, as well as the strength of your team management. We have learned a lot from you about how to strengthen the administrative matter of an online webinar series. We can see how the webinar can be implemented in details with better instances you have given us, especially in the authentic administration during all 5 series. I believe that all participants have got the concepts and ideas that can be applied to their own context as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our last speaker. Once again, please feel free to post your question into the Zoom chat. The speaker will be answering them in the Q&A session afterwards. All right, please allow me to introduce the last speaker, Dr. Aslam Khan. Dr. Aslam Khan received his academic qualification in English language education from the UK and Malaysia. He has involved in all aspects of teacher education programs under the Ministry of Education in Malaysia, and also special teacher education programs involving more than 90 countries. He has been a regular invited speaker at various national and international conferences. His major of interest include TESOL, methodologies, literature, training of trainers, innovative pedagogies, and teacher education in the 21st century. Dr. Aslam will be taking you through a 10-minute talk about the AsiaTEFL webinar series, publicity and promotion exercises, as well as our achievements and success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our speaker, Dr. Aslam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kitty Chai.
All right. Yeah, all right. Okay, Dr. Aslam, could you please share with us the publicity promotion perspectives of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you
Nice
very much,
and clear.
Mr. Kitty Chai, Neil Ubo. A very good evening from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to all esteemed educationists wherever you are in the world. Well, yeah, like what Ms. Zunyu Chai mentioned, it is to continue the legacy of Professor Ganakumaran. Personally, Professor Ganakumaran and I, we have been friends for more than 30 over years. We have studied together, and when he was the president of Malta, I was the vice president of Malta too. And together we have, reached out to lots of educationists, teachers, lecturers, researchers throughout the world. Well, in this AsiaTEFL webinar series, I was given the task of looking at the publicity and the promotion aspect. Yeah, one of the main aims of this AsiaTEFL webinar series is to enable maximum participation from the ELT fraternity. Therefore, the task is to reach out to as many participants as possible. That's the main task of the publicity and promotion committee. Yeah, if we want to look at how we do the publicity and promotion exercises, firstly, we need to create a flyer with all the details and information intact. This flyer needs to be circulated and shared with all potential participants to ensure registrations are taking place. All forms of publicity and promotion platforms are used in this exercise, such as email blasts, social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and all other platforms. And we also use individual contacts, yeah, and also through Telegram, WhatsApp, Line, or WeChat, whatever media, whatever platform that we have, we will use. Now, the reason is very simple. All of us know that the AsiaTEFL webinar series is a platform for all practitioners, or I should say the ELT fraternity, to be part of a fantastic, I would say, fantastic endeavor in ensuring that English education, English language education is really for all the ELT fraternity to be part of. Yeah. So normally the flyer is out about 2 weeks before the stipulated date of each webinar. We had 5 webinars. All right. And the data management team will provide registrations updates frequently for everyone's attention and also monitoring for monitoring purposes. The second round of the publicity and promotion exercises will continue a few days before each webinar session as a gentle reminder. Yeah, for all the webinars, we are very fortunate. We managed to reach out to about 25 to 30,000 individuals, and really a very encouraging registration. We'll get normally about 1,500 to 2,000 registrations per webinar, and we have reached out to close to 70 countries. And looking at the reaching out exercise for the 5 webinars, I think we have reached out to close to more than 120,000 people. So the AsiaTEFL webinar series is a platform to reach out to everyone, whether you are in the city, in the urban areas, or whether you are in the rural areas, because the point is there. We want to ensure that every educationist, I should say, every educationist in English language education will get the opportunity to participate in the AsiaTEFL webinar series. Wherever they are, whoever they are, whether they are young teachers, experienced teachers, you are given a free ticket or free platform to gain experience or knowledge in ensuring that you bring it back to wherever you are, contextualize it, and make sure that learning and teaching in your classroom will be taken care of, and you will be someone who is always trying to keep abreast with the development in English language education and to give the best to your learners. So that's the main aim of the publicity and the promotion committee, reaching out to ensure that everybody is given the same opportunity. And the good news is it is free with a certificate. Thank you for the time being, Mr. Ketichai.
All right, thank you very much. To be more specific on the achievements and success of the webinar series, Dr. Aslam and Ms. Chai Sun-Yu, could you please provide some insights pertaining to the achievements and the success of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021? Both of you? Maybe in a 1 minute or one or 2 minutes each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not easy to quantify success because it's education. You know, to see success in education or the effects of education, it takes time. However, the AsiaTEFL Professional Network has received tremendous constructive feedback. And based on the feedback, we can quantify that the cascading effect and the multiplying effect has taken place. And we get very positive feedback pertaining to please, the statement, please don't stop the AsiaTEFL webinar series. Please continue it. And here, for us, we always believe that we are all in it together. We are all in one family. Our success is your success, and your success is our success. Remember, we as educationists will never walk alone. We must never walk alone. We always work as a team. The concerted effect of every team members will ensure that the English language education fraternity, not only in Asia, but in the whole world, will benefit from the AsiaTEFL Professional Network webinar series. So that's what I can say at the moment. You'll never walk alone, yeah?
Such a very inspiring statements. So Ms. Chai Sun-Yu, anything to add on that?
Right. I like how Dr. Aslam has actually captured the success of the webinar series. And I think he has really given a very comprehensive view in terms of the achievement of the webinar series. It's very meaningful for us to be able to contribute to education, not just locally, but internationally. And I think another way to look at or to perceive our achievement is through the growth and development of the committee members as well, because I believe many of us would agree that education is about developing and empowering people. If you look at our committee is actually made up of very prominent and experienced people like Professor Pragasit, our advisor, Dr. Aslam. We have also Tatin, Dr. Zaira, Dr. Ali, and also Professor He Kyung Lee, and also more novice people like myself and the others. And the mentoring within the committee itself builds a very strong nurturing and learning culture. And I believe and I feel that only when we embody this culture, we are able to carry on with Professor Ghana's legacy and undertake the mission to nurture and develop people genuinely and meaningfully. So that's my take on this.
Just to add one more line, yeah, just
Please.
to add one more line, yes.
Please do.
Yes, AsiaTEFL Professional Network Webinar Series is truly committed in bringing together great minds to contribute to the development of English language learning and teaching at all levels. So through that, it has encouraged and enhanced collaboration among the ELT fraternity, not only in Asia, but throughout the world. So with that, thank you very much. And we hope that, you know, by all the support given by all the participants, we will continue our effort, yeah, to keep on sharing, to keep on changing lives and make a difference in English language education. That's one of our main aims. Maybe Professor Pragasit, you know, as the advisor, will say something about that. Yeah.
All right. Oh, thank you very much for your very powerful and energetic statements, Dr. Aslam. I totally agree that it is extremely important for teachers and educators to have collaborative community and network building, right? Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are running out of time, and due to the time limitation, I have to come to the last part of our session, ladies and gentlemen. I will ask our advisor of the AsiaTEFL webinar series 2021 to give us concluding remarks or the final words for in a few minutes. So he will be talking what will be happening in the next year of our webinar series. Dr. Prakasit, can you please?
Thank you again, Kitichai. As mentioned by Sunyu and Dr. Aslam, and from the feedback we received, most participants were highly happy with our webinars, and they expressed their thoughts to us that this useful project should continue. Honestly speaking, we have learned so many things from this project. We learned how to connect with well-known guest speakers, international scholars, audience members who are university lecturers, researchers, and school teachers, students, and most importantly, we learn how to work in team with people from different countries who work so hard to make this project a great achievement. So the webinar series will still continue next year, and we hope that the first webinar for next year will start in March. We will make it better and better based on the constructive comments we received from the participants of each webinar. We will let you know and we'll keep you posted about the webinar series project in the coming year. We do hope that you will continue to support us by attending our webinars and inviting your friends to join us next year. Before I finish my talk, I would like to once again wholeheartedly thank the webinar guest speakers and the participants for their valuable time and participation to make this event successful. Our special thanks also go to the AsiaTEFL presidents, executive members for their support and useful suggestions. And I would like to thank all of you today who come to join this presentation. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy the 2021 AsiaTEFL International Conference. ขอบคุณครับ